is Emily from Grammy's Garden. Today I'm getting ready to make the fudge that I've made for many years that's been a no-fail. My mom made this same fudge. She made another kind of fudge too, but this is a nice chocolate fudge that it's never failed on me, and I've had other candies fail. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm turning my temperature here to like a medium high, and I have a heavy pan. Like it's got to be, needs to be heavy bottom. If it's too thin, it won't cook right. Also, I found that my candies turn out a lot better if I do them on a day where it's not very humid. If it's rainy, it doesn't usually turn out as well for me. Like they don't set up, they don't get to the right consistency as well. Some of you may have experienced that too. So in this pan, I have 1½ cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm getting ready to add my third ingredient, which is, let's see, a 1 cup of milk. So, and it's Carnation, I'm using Carnation pet milk. I've used any kind of evaporated milks in it and it worked. Not condensed, but evaporated. So that's a third. There's another third. I'm going to bring that to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, when it comes to a boil, and I'm going to just stir it, get it really going here. Once it comes to a boil, and I mean like a rolling boil, then I'm going to just keep on stirring that. And it says 4 to 5 minutes on the recipe that I've always used. Sometimes you can find it right on a Toll House bag of milk chocolate. But once it comes to that, then I usually go about 5 minutes. I look at my stove, I don't set the timer because I know what it's supposed to do. So I'm just going to keep stirring here. I'm watching this, and once it comes to that boil, then I'll look at my clock and I'll start in for 5 minutes. So I'm going to just watch this, and I'll get right back with you when we're getting to the point that we're ready to add some more ingredients. I want to show you what this looks like. This has been at a rolling boil. There you go. It's been at a rolling boil for 4 minutes. So I'm going to set this back up. Don't mean to stand you on your head. I am going to get better cameras. I am. But anyway, and better lighting. But this is great for now. So I've just got, I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds. I can tell by the consistency that this is about right. I don't want it to overcook it because if you do, it's going to get grainy. And I like a real creamy, smooth fudge. So I'm going to stop right about here. Turn it off. Okay. Now, I'm going to add 2 cups of miniature marshmallows. And you got to stir pretty fast because it will start really setting up. Like I said, it's dry today. It's not our usual humid. Like yesterday it was pouring rain. This would have been a whole different ball game for me, probably. So now I'm going to add 1.5 cups, and this is Toll House milk chocolate. That seems to work the best. Then the next ingredient I'm going to add, you all may have some of your family that doesn't eat nuts or doesn't prefer nuts, or maybe you're giving them to co-workers or friends and you know that they don't eat nuts. I love black walnuts. You can use pecans, English walnuts, or black walnuts. I've thought about pistachios, and I just don't think it'd be that great a combination with this. But I've tried the others, all of them. And last year, black walnuts were so high that I just couldn't get any. This year, I got some at a good price at Sam's Club. Okay, now this texture is getting really like, it's turning into candy, all right. And I have 2 more ingredients. I have a teaspoon of vanilla, just a little bit more, And if you like a little more vanilla, you can add that. And then I have 1/2 cup of walnuts. This is it, folks. This is all you have to do with this. This stuff is ready. I had this assembled and ready, and it's taken me like 9 minutes, I think. So I can tell that this is going to turn out great. And it's going to harden up fast, so I'm going to have to move fast. So the next step is I have my 8x8 pan right here, an 8x8 foil lined pan, and that foil makes it so easy because you put this in the refrigerator when you're done, and it's ready to eat within an hour and a half or so. Like, I think this will definitely be ready in an hour and a half. But it just cools down, and then what you can do is just lift the foil right out of the pan and cut it up, and it makes a really nice, easy way to do that. So I wish you could see what I'm doing, but I've got to do this or it's going to get too hard on me. So I'm putting it right in that pan. I'll show you when it's all smoothed out. Then I'm going to show you pieces of it after I've gotten it out of the fridge. Now today I could have let this come off the stove a little earlier, and I can tell by the texture. You know, candy making is interesting because once you've made candy so often, you just kind of know how this candy's supposed to act. That's like when I make peanut brittle. When I make my peanut brittle, I know by the color it's turning. I don't use a thermometer. I'm not saying I wouldn't recommend thermometers, but I've just done this for a long time, and I've gotten to know this is the color that candy needs to be when I'm talking about peanut brittle to start adding your peanuts. Then I know, okay, this is the color that it needs to be to take it off the stove. So I'm going to smooth this out. I think I'll use my metal spoon because I'm going to kind of push it down in there. I want you to see what I'm doing. Right, there we go. I'm just going to push this down in here because do you see how that's already turned into fudge? It was quick. This was a quick candy making day for sure. But I do want to fill the whole pan because I don't want a difference in my slices. I mean, I'm not making this like to put on a fancy platter right now for a Christmas party or anything. But I am going to take some to my co-workers. I'll give some to one of my sons that'll be by today. And then I think my daughter will be here tomorrow and I'll give her some. So, on days like today, this could have done with 4 minutes instead of 5. So, I'm getting ready to put it in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to get it out in an hour and a half, and I'm going to cut a piece and show you what it looks like. So, I'll see you back here then, okay? Bye. Okay, this is the fudge. It's all done. I've had it in the refrigerator. I sliced it, and this is what it looks like. Nice.